What's up, you guys? I'm Amina. Welcome to my channel, Amina Reads. And if you're not new here and you're coming back, I want to say thank you so much. I recently hit 1,600 subscribers, and I appreciate every single one of you so much. So thank you for subscribing. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and joining the fam. I would appreciate it. But yeah, so today we are going to be talking about some bisexual book recommendations that I have, because I am bisexual, and bisexual representation means a lot to me. So before I start, I just wanted to preface this by saying that I am filming this and posting this because it is Bi Awareness Week. September 16th to the 23rd is Bi Awareness Week, and yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys some recommendations on bi books that I really liked and appreciated a lot for the representation. I also want to quickly state that, I feel like there's a lot of strange misconceptions about bisexuality and about how bisexuals feel about our attraction that bisexual people experience. And despite the etymology of bi meaning to, language evolves, and the meaning of bi and what we feel is, separate from this whole bi means to whatever. So do not assume that bisexuality means that you are only attracted to cis men or women. That's simply not the case. And any bi person who says that that is what it is, they are misinformed and possibly transphobic, and that's their own personal opinion, and that's not what bisexuality is, what it stands for, or how other bisexuals feel about our identity. So I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like I've just seen in recent months a whole lot of ridiculousness about bisexuality being like a less evolved form of pansexuality, which it simply is not. The two are two different labels that varying people feel comfortable with, and you identify how you identify, and both are incredibly valid identities. And I think that we should all respect each other and not spread misinformation about identities that you are not a part of. So that is my introductory spiel. I'm so sorry for going on that little rant, but I just am really passionate about it, obviously. So I wanted to talk to you guys about these recommendations, so let's just get right into them. So the first one that I want to recommend to you guys is Knit One Girl Two by Shira Glassman, and this book is about a yarn dyer named Clara. So she's really into knitting, and she has a shop where she sells specially dyed yarns, and essentially she finds this artist woman, and she's really inspired by her work, and so she dyes some yarn inspired by her work, and they basically end up meeting and collaborating, and they just like each other, and they start dating, and it's a really cute little novella. I appreciate it so much. And there's also Jewish representation in this, and one of the love interests is bi, and one of the love interests is a lesbian, and it's just really great, really wholesome and sweet, and I appreciated it a lot. The next one that I want to tell you guys about is Hold Me by Courtney Milan, which I feel like I've mentioned a lot on my channel recently, but I just love this book so much. It completely swept me off my feet. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. And this book is about a trans Mexican woman named Maria and a Chinese Thai bisexual man named Jay. So Maria is a very incredibly feminine, she loves makeup and shoes, and she really cares a lot about her appearance. And Jay is this scientist professor, kind of like a prodigy in a way, and basically he doesn't take her seriously when they first meet because of that, because he's a ridiculous man. There's a lot of wonderful representation in this book, and is a very amazing character study as well as a romance, so we love that. So the next thing that I want to tell you guys about is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is a book that I love so much, and I'm planning to reread it soon because it just meant the world to me reading this book. So this is essentially about Evelyn Hugo, who was a 50s Hollywood starlet, and she is Cuban and bisexual, and so this is about her struggle trying to be a star in this time period and be relevant, and everything that she's willing to do to maintain her celebrity. And it's very fascinating to read about a character as ambitious and uncompromising as Evelyn. She's just such a strong woman. Her 7 husbands, they are kind of like the scandal that marks her entire career and is what people know her for mostly. And in this book, she is doing like a tell-all interview where she discusses her 7 husbands and who the real true love of her life was. So I love this book so much, and I love Evelyn, and she means the absolute world to me. And I totally would recommend that you check this out if you're interested in like historical fiction at all. So the next book that I want to tell you guys about is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. And I'm sure that you all have heard about this. You've heard me talk about it. You've heard other people in the book community talk about it. But I love this book. It is a book that I just felt I felt very seen by it. The main character, Alex, he is bisexual, and over the course of the novel, he discovers that he's bisexual, and he is the first son of the President of the United States, who is this woman, and she won the 2016 election. It is a, reimagining of the 2016 election. So Alex's mother has won the election, and Alex is a biracial, bisexual, Mexican young man who is working his way through college, and he happens to have this grudge against the Prince of England, Henry, and it's about them going from like enemies to friends to lovers. And it's a very fun read, in my opinion. I really loved it a lot, and I love Alex and the bi representation, but I really appreciated Alex's representation because it sheds light on something that I don't feel like is talked about all that often, and it's how it can be difficult to understand your attraction and your feelings as a bisexual person in a heterosexist society that encourages you to feel like, of course you're straight. And when you're bisexual and you do experience this multigender attraction and you are experiencing, the typical attraction for your gender and for, heterosexual relationships, it can be difficult to understand and to categorize your attraction to other genders as well. So I think that was something that was really interestingly explored in Red, White, and Royal Blue, in my opinion. Really appreciated it, really loved it. And this is a book that I honestly can't stop talking about. I read it in April, and I've still been talking about it in like almost every video that I've posted. So clearly I love it. So the next book is actually a series. So this is the Criminal Intentions series by Cole McCade, and this series is following 2 detectives, Malcolm Kalaji and Sung Jae-yoon. And Yoon is Korean and Malcolm is Persian and Jewish. So these 2 detectives who solve crimes together. They basically become partners in the first book, and they solve a variety of crimes together, and it has a very like reminiscent feel to Criminal Minds because they do like criminal profiling of their suspects and stuff like that. But a relationship does form between Sung Jae and Malcolm, and it is so it's amazing. I love the writing in this series. I love the slow burn of their relationship, and Malcolm and Sung Jae are just very interesting. And also I think the crimes are really interesting. Like, I'm not typically interested in like crime fiction, but the crimes in this are so fascinating and like fucked up, and it's just really interesting. Malcolm, main dude, he is bisexual, and his love interest is gay and Grey Ace. So yeah, I love that series. I think that if you are interested in like mystery, thriller type stuff and like slow burn, super intense romances, I feel like you would really appreciate this book. Very last book that I want to tell you guys about. This is a pretty short list. Honestly, I haven't read as much bisexual fiction as I would like to, that I really felt like passionate about, and I felt like it was really good and I appreciated the representation in it. So sadly, this is kind of a short list, but the last book that I want to tell you guys about is Something Like Love by Christina C. Jones. I love Christina C. Jones, and I also have talked about her in many a video. She's amazing. She writes black romance, and I appreciate her so much for that. So this book follows 2 characters, Eddie and Astrid, and they are both bisexual. Eddie is a tattoo artist. He owns a tattoo shop, and he basically doesn't like Astrid, like, not for any particular reason. They just have this really like you know, kind of ridiculous, not necessarily animosity, but it's just like this childish bickering that they engage in every time they see each other. And Eddie and Astrid are just so incredibly funny together. And Astrid is like a yoga instructor. She also owns like a graphic design business, but that's kind of like her side hustle, and yoga is the main thing that she focuses on, like yoga and wellness. And I just really appreciate this book so much because these two characters kind of embark on this journey of like self-love and self-care together, and I just appreciated it so much. It's such like a funny and like sweet book, and also kind of unconventional, and I just appreciate it so much. Also I wanted to mention that I feel like the discussion of like biphobia in this is really good, where Eddie discusses how difficult it is for him to date as a bisexual man, and the way in which a lot of straight women kind of fetishize him, or they feel like he's secretly gay, or like he's going to be more inclined to cheat because he is bisexual, and all of these various things that make it hard for him to date as a bi man. And I really appreciated like that exploration. So I do think that this was such a great book. This is one of my favorite books with bisexual characters ever, and I love Eddie with all my heart. Eddie is hilarious. Astrid, I want to be her when I grow up. And yeah, I love everything about this book and everything about this author. You should totally check out her other stuff too if you read this and you like it. But yeah, those are all of the books that I wanted to tell you guys about. Kind of a short list, I know, but I love these books and I really appreciate them, and I hope that you will appreciate them as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I want to say a huge thank you to my 1,600 subscribers. You guys rock. I love you. Alright, see you all later. Bye.